Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So on the VN server, the first Primal Lord of the season has just come live today. So the thing which makes this Primal Lord so unique is it has massive energy denial onto your team, more than you've ever seen in any boss before. So basically how this works is 4 of your frontmost allies in the battle formation, they're going to be hit with the spore at the beginning of the battle. And then whenever one of your allies will cast an ultimate, they will be hit with a spore at that point as well. And the spore will drain 125 energy per second from his host, basically is going to offset your energy recovery, and you're not going to be able to cast another ultimate after that. The other abilities you have here, Neurotoxin is actually pretty strong. It is going to debuff your heroes by reducing your attack and haste by 20 for 4 seconds whenever this is casted, so further reducing your damage output. And then Fungal Growth, this is going to grow a mushroom which is going to knock up enemies, basically a stun, preventing you from getting off damage. So it's a boss which is heavily going to reduce the damage your team is capable of doing. So we're going to take a look at the replay here. This is the formation which was being run, and you know what the funny thing is that all allies which get hit with that spore at the beginning, like basically the 4 frontmost, they are the ones who do not get a single ultimate cast off. If you take a look at the replay here, the energy draining is happening on the real Fresto, the Chimera, the Elijah in the back, and then the Ludovic. The Illusion Fresto and the Rainier, both of these are not being affected by that, so they're charging up their energy, but really slowly. But eventually they're going to cast their ultimates. But any other ally here is basically prevented from casting their ultimate. And so I need to take a look at Chimera's skills, because Chimera's not getting a single ultimate off, so I wouldn't think that she would be a great damage dealer option here. And now you're going to see the damage chart that basically who ends up dealing the most damage? Fresto, Ludovic, and why? Because they're dealing HP per second damage. And when we're talking about a Primal Lord, generally at this early part of the season, your levels are not high enough to benefit from HP per second damage. However, there is a breakpoint around level 600 or even above that where HP per second damage actually does end up being a good option. But because here you're denied your ultimates, your attack debuffed, basically the best option for you is just to rely on HP per second damage, which is a fixed amount rather than any other damage form. So this is just a really interesting thing, that it seems like HP per second damage is going to be the meta. As you see here, basically no one's casting their ultimate other than the Fresto, Illusion, and the Rainier at one time, and then after that they're not going to be able to cast again. The survival does seem fine, but you're going to need a form of healer. And so Ludovic is probably going to be the best healer, damage dealer for this comp, because Ludovic doesn't need his ultimate to heal. He doesn't need his ultimate for damage, so he contributes good healing and damage. The twins also are great because they have that stellar bomb for the stat buff onto their allies. And also they can give, energy doesn't matter, but they can give some healing as well, some shielding. So basically, look at the damage chart. Fresto, Ludovic, somehow Chimera is dealing damage even though she's not even casting her ultimate. We need to review her skills. Yeah, look at this. She deals true damage equal to a percentage of the opponent's maximum health, capped to 500% of her attack. So Chimera is still a great damage deal option, even though she cannot get off her ultimate. But the question is there going to be a better option than her? But Fresto and Ludovic, these are great options as well. Twins are good. So I think really the top comps are going to be involving Twins, Fresto, Ludovic, and it looks like Chimera right now. So Rainier is not beneficial for this team because he's increasing Chimera's damage with the debuff that he provides, but he's not increasing HP per second damage dealer's damage, which are Fresto and Ludovic. All of this damage is basically HP per second damage, most of it. And so Rainier's not boosting that. And so Rainier isn't necessarily the best option here. So now I'm going to show you a formation which was run by another player on the VN server and is now getting currently the top scores. And this makes a lot of sense. When you look at this team, you're like, okay, I can really understand why this is working. Number one, Chimera is in the backmost tile, so like I think that means she's not going to be affected by that parasitic spore at the beginning, so she'll get at least one ultimate off for damage. So that makes a lot of sense, because even if she can get off one ultimate, that is going to be high damage output for this team. Then you can have Fresto for damage, Ludovic, Twins buffing up the Fresto, like that makes sense. Velka is basically, you need to have a faction talent here. And it does seem like Graveborn is a great faction talent, like that boosts the damage dealt by the hero on that faction tile. And Velka also boosts the attack speed of all 4 of these allies. And Velka has some true damage of her own, right? Even without relying that much on energy. So that kind of makes sense. But I'm thinking that basically it's going to be one Graveborn hero along with Shamir and Ludovic, it seems like. Or maybe there's a way even not using Shamira here. But I don't know what would be a good option. If you guys have ideas of basically heroes which do not depend on their ultimate, and also have, like, don't depend on, like, even if their attack is kind of reduced, still have high damage output. That's basically what we're looking for. But we're going to do a run of this. This is our final run. I have boosted the levels of the 3 heroes, which I think are going to be the highest damage. Yeah, look at this. So Shamir is going to get an ultimate off in this formation, and that's why this is so good. Even one ultimate is going to be a big damage increase compared to not any ultimates at all. She's going to get off one ultimate, so that's going to be some value here. But after this, of course, she's not going to get another ultimate off. And our real Fresco is going to get... Or is it the Illusion? The Illusion Fresco is going to get off one ultimate. And then that is it. So Velka is casting a bit of ultimates here, even with the energy denial. Like, that, I think, is the other reason why Velka is probably a good option here. Because if you don't know, Velka's basically ultimate only costs 150 energy or so. So maybe she can squeeze in an ultimate, whereas other heroes are not able to. Yeah, like, look. Oh, and Velka can also counter the enemy's ultimate. No wonder. That makes a lot of sense. But look at this. Ludovic is getting low on health. Ludovic needs more healing. He is healing himself up right now. The boss is dealing actually pretty high damage. Look at this. The boss is dealing quite a bit of damage. Without Ludovic, there's no way you can survive. Even with Ludovic, it's a bit risky. And my viewer here is on a high resonating level. Like, for day 1 of Primal Lord, most people will not be at the resonating level he's at. He's at 561 on 3 heroes. Yeah, that's way higher than... is going to be possible for free-to-play players. Okay, so 830 already, 830 million damage, 13 seconds left. I want to take a look at the damage chart. Here, Shamir should get off a lot more damage. I want to see Velka's damage output. So Ludovic is going to die right towards the end, but that shouldn't matter too much. Maybe a bit of RNG. Over 900 million damage. So that's like a 50 million damage score boost compared to the Rainier team that we showed, the Hypo and Celestial team, which is a lot. Shamira didn't even end up dealing that much damage. Even though she casted her ultimate, she ended up dealing less damage than the Hypogean Celestial comp. Velka did do a decent amount of damage, especially because she's a +5 exclusive equipment and no charms or anything. And then Ludovic did fine, not that much. Fresco did a lot of damage because of the twins bond. Yeah, so... I think the thing was, compared to the previous comp, you had Rainier to boost Shamira's damage. You had the twins to give a Stellar Bond buff to Shamira. Here, the twins are buffing Fresco, so Fresco's damage is higher, but Shamira's damage is lower. Velka did a decent amount here. Velka actually did a lot. I think Velka might be a meta damage dealer for this boss because of the low energy requirement on her ultimate. It's only a 150 energy cost. And she can also reflect, like when the boss is ultimating in her melee range, she's able to do one of those an ultimate is gonna proc for free at no energy cost. So I think those are basically the things. So overall, I think that this is looking like the meta team for right now. But of course, a lot more testing has to be done. Also, as the time goes on and people are reaching level 600, which will be the cap of this phase, things may change. Usually, Primal Lord has optimal team, like at different level thresholds, different optimal teams emerge. But this is looking really promising from day 1. So I would recommend, if you don't have Velka already to Mythic Plus or maybe even Supreme Plus, keep her on the wish list, try to get her upgraded, because it's, as of right now, she's looking to be in the best team comp, but potentially there could be another hero. Like, I could definitely imagine Bonnie being here rather than Velka or something. And for us on the global server, it will be 7 days from now when we will be getting day 1 of this Primal Lord, and I can't wait for it, because that is always a very exciting part of the season, and I'm very grateful that we have 3 Primal Lords this season. That's going to be a lot of interesting team testing and also content. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.